Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I realise I have got the graveyard shift here, so I'll try not to put you all to sleep, so bear with me. I'm really proud to present here today a new business within the AB Agri family of businesses called Amore. Amore is a new business within AB Agri, which is within the ABF group of businesses as well. And I'm going to tell you briefly about what the business does, why it was set up, and what difference it can make to our overall business. AB Agri has been a leader for over 30 years now in the agricultural sector, and we've always strived to be quite innovative and quite different. We've always added value into the animal feed sectors by branding and bringing new things to the market. And I'm sure, like everybody else here, our business is constantly challenged with reduce your carbon footprint, be more sustainable, improve all your efficiencies, and all those great things that we all talk about. And we're no different. And AB Agri as a business, we take that quite seriously when we call that agenda Formula 24. So it's a recipe and a way of identifying, framing and reporting and communicating the work that we're doing around sustainability out into not just our own business but out into other customers' businesses as well. It's a series of initiatives that are grouped into 3 sections. More from less, which is all about kind of driving efficiencies from everything that we've got within our business. In our nature, which is about reducing our carbon footprint. And side by side, which is the way that we work with colleagues and the communities around us to help make sure that we're making a positive impact. The business Amore looked to address 2 of these areas. They were specifically more from less and in our nature. And to do that, we explored the idea of anaerobic digestion. And what's more, like many businesses I'm sure here today, ABF has signed up to the Coulthard commitment, which is exactly as it says up there, trying to work along the entire food chain to reduce the environmental impact of food and drink from farm to fork and beyond. And this should resonate with all of us. We can all make a bit of a difference. And anaerobic digestion is just one way that it can help, and it's helped ABF and can help some more of our customers. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about how we're going to do that. When we started to look at anaerobic digestion, we needed to understand it first. And I'm sure lots of people here completely understand anaerobic digestion. So if you do, I apologise for teaching you to suck eggs. But if you don't, here's a very brief run through on how it works. So you get basic inputs, which are feedstocks into the AD in 3 general categories. So farmyard manures and slurries, food wastes and byproducts from food processing, and crops and residues, so purpose-grown crops such as maize and rye. Those feedstocks then get fed into a big tank, which is a digester. And they produce the bugs in that digester eat those feedstocks, and a co-product from that they produce is biogas, which is a mixture pretty much of CO2 and methane, and the methane's the bit that we're interested in. So the output from those bugs from the CO2 and the methane is either power generated by burning the biogas through a CHP engine and injecting it into the grid, or you can actually scrub the methane part of that biogas and inject it straight into the gas main to generate cooker gas or central heating gas straight into your family home. So once we'd looked into this industry, we decided we ought to build one. So we did. And this is our new baby. It's a little bit ugly, I know, but most babies are pretty ugly, aren't they? So we decided to build one for numerous reasons. One of them was, if we truly thought we were experts in the industry, we needed to put our money where our mouth was. We really understand nutrition in AB Agri. So if you can start to understand nutrition in a cow, you can really start to understand nutrition in a great big concrete cow. So we thought we had quite a lot of expertise in this area. So we built a 3 megawatt gas to grid plant. It's in North Yorkshire, and it's fed entirely on waste. We in Amore are on a mission to create green energy and to help others create green energy. And the plant for ourselves alone is quite a compelling story. So it's a 60,000 tonne food waste plant, generating enough green energy to power around 4,000 homes. And within the AB Agri group of families, one of our group of companies is ABN, which manufactures around 2 million tonnes of pig and poultry feed across 11 sites in the UK. And the electricity or the gas that we generate through our site in North Yorkshire offsets the energy produced from 3 of our feed mills, which is a great plus point for us. It contributes to a great corporate social responsibility agenda, and it offers a real alternative solution to the usual service providers. It's got great potential to drive down some costs within our business unit and other business units within the ABF group, which we're already starting to explore, all with the knowledge and trust that the wastes and byproducts are being dealt with in a completely transparent, secure, sustainable way. When we started to explore if our model could really help some of our internal group companies and some of our external partners, we thought we could help them look a bit differently at some of their byproduct streams. So we challenged ourselves to look a bit differently at food and drink waste to bring some new solutions to our partners. We then turned some of the ideas that we go and speak to these businesses about into either valuable animal feed or feedstocks for anaerobic digestion, for us or for other customers that are hungry for more feeds across the country. AB Agri has a great heritage in animal feed and radically changed the market for turning problem waste materials in the food and drink industry into really valuable animal feeds. So what we're trying to do with them all is exactly the same. We're just trying to spread the net over a wider range of byproducts and help add value and create and generate markets for those byproducts. Because we truly believe that there is no such thing as waste. We don't see a waste from food and drink manufacture. We see a product. Or if not a product on its own, we see an ingredient to a product. Or we see a raw material to a blend of products that have a valuable place in either animal feed or renewable gas generation. But what we'll look at is everything that's being produced on a site in a sustainable way, and we'll take the waste hierarchy, and if it can go to feed, it should go to feed. But if it can't, then we won't look at it and say it's a waste, it's got to be dealt with in exactly the same way that every other waste provider will. We'll try and offer solutions to add some value to those streams. When we started to really challenge ourselves on how we'd do things differently, we initially started to work with some of our internal ABF businesses, some of which are here today. I've seen you, hello. And by looking again at the streams that they were producing, we realised we really could add some value to some of the streams that they were being told had no value out there in the marketplace. So as part of AB Agri, we pull from a huge pool of great resources of nutritional expertise and knowledge that allows us to identify not just opportunities into animal feed, but into biofuels and recyclables. And like I said, we work across the waste hierarchy to identify the best solution for the byproduct streams produced. So we opened up the markets for not just traditional animal feed into a traditional animal feed market. We then started to cast the net wider and said, can we look at all these streams in a holistic way that can either go into animal feed, into bioenergy production, or into recycling? Am I saying that you should all go off and build yourselves an anaerobic digester? No. In fact, I would go as far as to say, do not do it. Save your sanity. It is hard work. It's not easy. I know I can see a few people that have done it themselves in here, and I'm sure they'll testify to that. It is not easy, but should you be considering anaerobic digestion as part of your waste management solutions? Absolutely, yes, you should. So ideally, as I say, what you really want to do is get a holistic view of the waste and byproducts that are generated on any one site or your site, and make sure that they're treated in the most sustainable, value-added way. To give you an idea of the kind of things that we do at our plant, with the help of our partners, the Maltings Organic Treatment, we turn heavily packaged items and traditionally difficult to deal with co-products or byproducts or waste, whatever you want to call them, like that. So you can see there's really heavily packaged jars, sauces, plastics, metals, tins, packets, sachets, into that. Now you may say, Dean, why have you stuck a great big picture of a load of sick up on the screen? So, granted, it doesn't look too appealing to you or I, but where you see a great big vat of goo, I see nectar to an AD plant. They love this stuff. We manufacture this product to a high specification, so we just don't take in all the products and mix them all together and chuck them out whatever we've got. We actually have a team of people looking at the things that are available to us, and we blend them to a tailor-made product. So we monitor dry matter and sulfur and heavy metals and contaminants. We make something that's got a real value to an AD site, either ours or another customer of ours. The streams that we take go through a unique 4-stage process, and they take what was traditionally a problem and turn them into a consistent, valuable, sustainable resource for green energy production, which is pretty great. I was telling my wife about what I did. This is pretty new for all of us, and I started to tell my wife what we did, and she sat and listened, and she said, so are you telling me they've got you selling bin juice now? Which is not far away from the mark, but I probably wouldn't describe it like that. We are learning all the time. And we're still working with lots of partners. We're still working on our best way of evaluating streams and generating products. We're still working closely with lots of our AB Agri and ABF group companies to help add more value to them and give them a real alternative to a traditional waste supplier that can sometimes take the path of least resistance. We're still looking to add value and do things a bit differently, like we did in the co-products market for some waste and byproduct streams. We just want to provide an alternative view on possibilities for some of those streams. And we have got ambitious plans. We're planning to roll out our offering all the way across the country. So we've got our own site in Yorkshire. We're planning to roll out sites across the M62 corridor. That's our business. Hope you find some of that mildly interesting. We've got a small stand at 34A outside. As you can tell, we like to talk about what we do. If you want to come and talk to us a bit more about what we do, we'd be very happy to see you there.